Miami Dolphins fans, what's going on? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and I'm going to hit you with the 5 biggest stories that every Dolphin fan needs to know. When we started launching a lot of these shows at Chat Sports, we, of course, wanted to be able to break down the latest news. However, we also wanted to be able to break down the latest rumors and crazy articles that we find on the web and give you our 2 cents on it. So the first story that we're going to talk about here is Ja'Marr Chase going to the Miami Dolphins. Now, y'all know that I'm a big fan of Ja'Marr Chase, and the Miami Dolphins definitely have a need at wide receiver. So today, Daniel Jeremiah from NFL released his first mock draft of the year, and he had the Dolphins selecting Ja'Marr Chase, LSU wide receiver, at number 3 overall. Personally, if I'm at number 3 and the top 2 picks were Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, I personally would go the route of taking Penei Sewell. However, he had Penei Sewell falling all the way down to the Cowboys at number 10. So I was pretty surprised at the fact that he went with Ja'Marr Chase. Now, why did he do it? He said this, that Chase is the best wide receiver in this class. That is some pretty high praise for a dude who didn't even play this year. He decided to opt it out, and another receiver that we're going to talk about in a little bit, he ended up winning the Heisman. So the fact that they are this confident on a guy like Ja'Marr Chase is definitely something to at least consider. He put up incredible numbers, 19 touchdowns. Was also in the offense led by Joe Burrow, where Burrow threw for 60 touchdowns. So, I mean, I get the whole thing behind it, but I am in agreement with this. If your plan is to stick with Tua, you need to surround Tua with as much talent as you possibly can, because the defense is good. It's one of the best defenses in the National Football League. So try to get as much talent as you humanly possibly can around Tua. Now, hey, y'all, I've been saying all week, I've been watching Game of Thrones, and I'm trying to conquer things, right? So the next channel that we need to go ahead and conquer is Detroit Lions Talk with Micro Mike. What does that mean here? So we're about 1,200 subs behind them. So if you know any big-time Dolphin fans, I need you to subscribe to this channel here. We're trying to catch up to other YouTube channels here at Chat Sports. Why? More subs equals more videos. So if you want to go ahead and catch them, seriously, hit that big red button that says subscribe. At number 2 here, the Dolphins drafting DeVonta Smith. So remember how the whole conversation with Ja'Marr Chase, there was an article that came out today that said you could basically pencil in, DeVonta Smith going to the Miami Dolphins at number 3. I get the whole thing. The issue is this. Has anybody ever written with pencil before? You can erase it. If the report would have been that you can put it in Sharpie, you can put it in pen, I would consider it a little bit differently. The bigger story here is this. If multiple people are starting to connect wide receivers to the Miami Dolphins at number 3, I do think it's at least worth listening. And anytime you can go ahead and get a guy who put up these type of numbers and won the Heisman, you got to look at it. 117 catches, 23 touchdowns, almost 1,900 yards in a year that was one of the craziest years, if not the craziest year in college football history. But probably my favorite stat about Smith is what he did in the first half against Ohio State. I've heard a lot of people say that Ohio State doesn't have the best secondary, this and that. That's a good secondary. It's an above-average college secondary, and DeVonta Smith in the first half was waving bye to him, laughing at these guys. He is an extremely talented receiver, and out of Ja'Marr Chase and, honestly, DeVonta Smith, I don't really know if the question should be who's the better receiver, but who's the better receiver for the Miami Dolphins? That's what's important here. So I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. Who's the better receiver for the Miami Dolphins? Do you think it's Ja'Marr Chase, or do you think it's DeVonta Smith? Story number 3, Christian Darrisaw to the Miami Dolphins. So we're going to go back to the whole Daniel Jeremiah mock draft. And at pick number 18, Jeremiah said, you know what? Let's go with Darrisaw, the offensive tackle from Virginia Tech, at pick number 18. This was actually the 4th OT off the board, which I thought was actually pretty surprising. When I look at a lot of the draft prospect people that I appreciate, when I talk to Tom Downey, they have them a little bit higher up on their board. But you know what? This feels a major need for the Dolphins because, again, if you're going to try to get talent around Tua, you also need to be able to protect him, and that's what Darrisaw is going to be able to do at right tackle. So last year, you invested in Austin Jackson at left tackle. You got to figure out what you're going to end up doing with Karras at center, but there's still a lot of other holes on that offensive line. You get 2 young studs at right tackle and at left tackle because you need to have somebody that can block Tua's blind side. That's what Darrisaw is going to be, and I do think that he is one of the best OTs in the entire 2021 NFL Draft. So if I'm looking at Daniel Jeremiah's mock and I say, okay, Jamar Chase and Darrisaw, as much as I want Penei Sewell, I really, really like that start. Hey, but I'm just saying, I do really like it. Now, if you guys care about my 2 cents, I appreciate that. If you want to make more than just 2 cents, if you want a lot of money, we got you hooked up here. If you want to bet on all the NFL playoff games this week, you can go ahead and do it at chatsports.com/bet. But take advantage of our deal because it's the best deal on the internet. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Dolphins125. It gets you 125% deposit bonus. So if y'all want to bet on the Bills at the Chiefs, seriously, go put your money where your mouth is. The over-under in this one, 54 points. Kansas City, 3-point favorites. Bills Mafia, where are you at? Go bet on the Bills. How about the Buccaneers and the Packers? This is going to be a really, really tight one. The over-under this one continues to climb up. It started at 50.5, then it went to 51, and then it went to 51.5, and now today I checked, it's 52. It might be because I put so many bets on the over, it's going to keep on creeping up. Go ahead, use the promo code, though, Dolphins125, chatsports.com/bet. If you don't know what bets to make, I got you covered. Here are my 4 bets that I'm making, which I'll be honest, they've been a little bit unpopular around some people here at Chat Sports. I got the Packers to cover. I'm still taking the over in the Green Bay-Tampa Bay game. Give me the Bills outright to win, and I'm going to bet the under. I know Patrick Mahomes just got cleared, but both of those offenses, they didn't put up many points the last time they played each other. Now, if you want to go ahead and even bet on who's going to win the Super Bowl, you can also do that at BetUS. We got the best deal. Take advantage of it. It makes the games a little bit more interesting. I know the Dolphins aren't in it anymore, but, I mean, come on. You can still bet on the games. All right, the story number 4 here, T.Y. Hilton to the Miami Dolphins. So remember earlier on in the video when I said something about I try to find articles, I try to find rumors and dispute them because, believe it or not, if you read something on the internet, it's not always true, and it's not always a smart thing to do. So T.Y. Hilton to the Miami Dolphins. This was an article from the Finsider that said, yes, that they should go out and pursue T.Y. Hilton, add that little bit of a vertical stretch. My concern is this. T.Y., he just doesn't have it anymore. 762 yards, 5 touchdowns this past year with Phillip Rivers. Sure, the offense was built more to run the football. 2019, 500 yards, 45 catches. I mean, the fact that it's back-to-back years, under 800 yards, it's the first time it's ever happened to T.Y. He's just getting up there in age, and when you get older, believe it or not, Father Time always wins. So I don't really see the athletic burst that we once saw. Plus, we can't forget that I understand like Miami had some players ascend this year, but you can't forget about Allen Hurns, and you can't forget about Albert Wilson. These were your probably 2 out of your top 3 receivers coming into the year. It was Devontae Parker, Allen Hurns, Albert Wilson. Hurns and Wilson decided to opt out, and with their contracts, it's not very likely that Miami does end up cutting them, but I'm not going to go out and get a guy like T.Y. Hilton in free agency when I have an opportunity to get a DeVonta Smith, to get a Jamar Chase. There's a lot of other talented receivers out there as well. If you want somebody that can stretch the field, if you're looking for a receiver that honestly is in free agency that can do that, Will Fuller is an absolute stud. Also a guy like Deebo Samuel, who does remind me a lot of a guy like Paris Campbell. So T.Y. Hilton to the Dolphins, that's the story here. So go down in the comments section here. Should Miami sign T.Y.? I want you to simply type Y for yes or type N for no. I am respectively going to type my N for no, even though I do appreciate what T.Y. has done for the NFL, what he's done for the Colts, but he's just old and washed up. You don't want to go ahead and bring him in. The last story that we're going to talk about here on today's show is, should the Dolphins sign Le'Veon Bell? Same guy wrote the exact same article and said, yes, the Dolphins should go out and bring in Bell. There's 2 parts to this. One, what exactly is it going to cost? I get that Miami was interested in Bell before, but that old Bell interest was based off of a number 1 running back. The last time we saw him be great was with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2018. Then he decided to take a year off. And then he decided to, well, not be very good with the Jets. I get it's the Jets, but then everyone was like, oh, Le'Veon Bell's going to go to the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's going to be phenomenal again. That hasn't been the case. The Chiefs have been using him less and less and less as the season goes on, and then right when Clyde Edwards-Helaire went down with an injury, you thought, okay, now this is why they went out and got Le'Veon Bell. He's still not playing. They're playing Darrell Williams over Le'Veon Bell. You don't want to make the same mistake. You paid Matt Breida, or you traded for Breida. You went out and got Jordan Howard. Didn't work out. I get that Gaskin isn't a big-name running back, and I get Salvon Ahmed isn't a big-name running back, but they did a great job. So for me, I'm sitting here wondering, should Miami go out and sign Bell? I'll give you my answer here in just a second. I would be very surprised if a bunch of people did say yes to this. However, I do know how YouTube works. I do know how a lot of people who maybe don't do as much research see a big name like Le'Veon, and they're like, yes, 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 do it. I'm saying avoid Le'Veon Bell and draft a running back. There's a lot of talented running backs that you can get later on in the draft, and I'm not always the guy that sits here and say, draft a running back early, draft a running back early. But you know what? You got 4 picks in the top 50. You got 3, 18. Let's say you go wide receiver, offensive tackle. You could probably still get a guy like Najee Harris or Travis Etienne at pick 36. If both of those guys are gone, why not also then maybe look at a player at number 50? There's other running backs that you can go out and get. If you're a Dolphins fan and you want a running back, Le'Veon Bell's not the answer. What is the answer? It's this YouTube channel here. If you want more Dolphins videos, seriously, hit the big red button and subscribe.